Yalu is here. Ahmed, you've been to Saudi consulates, so have I. Their embassies, their consulates are some of the most well-policed buildings in the world. It seems either a huge coincidence or slightly mysterious that the recording equipment wasn't working inside the consulate when Khashoggi entered.
It's ridiculous and absurd, to say the least, Adnan, because the CCTV cameras does not just film. They record as well at least 3 to 10 days. But when the Consul General talks to the media and to Reuters telling them that we don't have any footages for Jamal Khashoggi and he left the embassy, this doesn't make any sense, because what we know from the footages surrounding the area that he entered on his feet, but he never get out from the consulate, that's for sure. Now, why don't they cooperate? Why don't they offer these kind of recordings and footages to the security forces here in Turkey to see if they were the ones who is responsible, or there is other party who are trying to mix the things and mix the cars on the ground with the relations between Turkey and Saudi Arabia. It's not, the absurdity is that the Saudi Arabia officials are not cooperating fully, which doesn't make any sense. Nobody understands why this is happening.
So the official positions are from Riyadh that nothing untoward happened. The official reaction from Ankara, the government, is that we need to wait for the investigation to find out what really happened. But you've been speaking to the head of the Turk Arab Media Association, who says they know what happened. Let's have a listen.
We were told he was not only killed, but his body was also cut up into pieces by 15 people who were there and then disposed of. We don't know the details of how it happened.
Okay, so we will wait to see what the official investigation says. But what about international reaction? Saudi Arabia accused the allegation that this is an incredibly heinous crime, that a man has entered their consulate, been dismembered and removed from the building. Imagine if this had happened at the Iranian consulate. You can imagine the reaction around the world. At the moment, the rest of the world seems to be quite mute about this.
Simply because Saudi Arabia is an indispensable investor. Money talks, Adnan. Otherwise, you would see them everywhere speaking about that. This is a journalist, a well-known journalist who was just a vocal in terms of the criticism. Even he said about Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, that he could be a very good leader, a reformer who can modernize Saudi Arabia, but he needs to get the real team, the genuine patriot of Saudi Arabia. He was not critically or let's say unconstructively criticizing Mohammed bin Salman, and he was at least disappearing. How this happened, the international media is not covering this quite well. It's only the Washington Post, published the column with a blank page.
Yes, they have removed their firewall to now allow people to read Khashoggi's articles that he had written about Saudi Arabia.
But you would be shocked, nothing coming out from the States. They're just watching, nothing coming out from the United Kingdom, from the Western communities, nothing genuinely to condemn what's going on. Look, at least if you want to take this, what's happening in Saudi Arabia, the lack of strategy, the war in Yemen, would be enough to condemn the practices, the UN reports, the Amnesty International, what amount to war crimes, but nobody's speaking about it, because simply that Trump still needs Saudi Arabia, and what's he publicly saying? You need to pay for us.
Yeah. Ahmed Al-Yalu, thanks for coming into the studio, as always.
Thank you.